The Zephyrian battlecruiser Dominion's Edge hung in the void above the human colony world of Kepler 442b, like a metallic predator. Commander Thexvar studied the tactical display with cold satisfaction. The target was insignificant, a farming settlement called Haven's Rest, population 847. The humans there had refused to comply with the hegemony's agricultural quotas, claiming their soil was too depleted. Such defiance could not be tolerated. "Commence orbital bombardment," Thexvar commanded. "Sterilize the settlement. Leave no trace." The ship's particle cannons charged with an ominous hum. Below, in the pre-dawn darkness of Haven's Rest, children slept peacefully in their beds while their parents worked the night shift in the hydroponic farms. They never saw the white-hot beams that turned their world to ash in 17 seconds. What the Zephyrians didn't know was that every human settlement on Kepler 442b was connected by an ancient communications network, quantum entanglement transceivers, salvaged from a derelict Earth colony ship. The moment Haven's Rest went silent, every human on the planet knew. In New Mumbai, Dr. Sarah Chen felt the notification pulse through her neural implant as she worked late in her xenobiology lab. The message was simple. Haven's Rest. Gone. All souls lost. She staggered, gripping her workbench. Her sister Maya lived in Haven's Rest. Had lived. Chen's grief lasted exactly 37 seconds. Then something else took over. Something the Zephyrians had never bothered to study about human psychology. They understood fear, submission, and compliance. They had never encountered what humans called righteous fury. Across the planet, similar scenes played out. In the mining city of Titan's Reach, Foreman Klaus Richter learned that his childhood friend Jonas had been vaporized along with his family. In the coastal settlement of New Pacifica, marine biologist Dr. Elena Vasquez discovered that her mentor, Dr. Marcus Webb, had died trying to protect his research on sustainable farming techniques. The humans didn't panic. They didn't flee. They planned. Within 6 hours, quantum messages were racing across space through hidden relay networks the hegemony had never detected. The settlements on Kepler 442b had been deemed unimportant by galactic standards, too small, too poor, too primitive to warrant serious attention. The Zephyrians saw only farmers, miners, and researchers playing in the dirt of a backwater world. They failed to notice that these primitive humans included 3 former Earth Defense Force generals, dozens of ex-military engineers, and a surprising number of scientists who had left Earth because their research had been deemed too dangerous for civilized space. Dr. Chen stood before the emergency assembly in New Mumbai's town hall. Representatives from every remaining settlement had gathered, their faces carved from stone. She held up a small device, a bioweapon she had been developing to combat alien crop blights. "The Zephyrians think we're just farmers," she said quietly. "They're about to learn why Earth banned my research." The plan was elegant in its simplicity. Every human settlement on Kepler 442b had been struggling with the same problem: soil depletion caused by the planet's unique mineral composition. Dr. Chen's research had focused on engineered bacteria that could break down these minerals and restore soil fertility. The same bacteria, with minor modifications, could break down the silicon-based cellular structures that formed the backbone of Zephyrian biology. While Chen worked on the biological component, the ex-military personnel crafted the delivery system. Old mining charges were repurposed into kinetic projectiles. Atmospheric processors became bioweapon dispersal units. Agricultural drones transformed into delivery systems that could operate in the vacuum of space. The Zephyrians remained blissfully unaware. To them, the humans below were simply maintaining their pathetic existence, probably cowering in fear after the lesson of Haven's Rest. Thexvar filed his report and settled in for what he expected to be a routine occupation. He was reviewing supply manifests when the first wave hit. The attack began at 0347 local time. Every human settlement simultaneously launched everything they had. Mining charges accelerated to significant fractions of light speed, drones carrying bioweapon payloads, and even repurposed agricultural satellites armed with improvised electromagnetic pulse weapons. The Dominion's Edge had shields designed to deflect military-grade weaponry. They were not designed to handle a swarm of 10,000 projectiles ranging from refrigerator-sized mining charges to basketball-sized drones. The first impacts overwhelmed the shield generators. The second wave punched through the hull. But it was the third wave that sealed the ship's fate. Dr. Chen's modified bacteria, dispersed through the ship's ventilation system, began breaking down every silicon-based component they encountered. Life support systems failed. Computer cores dissolved. Even the Zephyrian's exoskeletons began to crumble. Thexavar's last coherent thought, as his command chair dissolved beneath him and his own body began to betray him, was a desperate question. What were these humans? The answer came in the form of a broadcast that reached every hegemony world within a 50 light-year radius. It was Dr. Chen's voice, calm and measured. To the Zephyrian hegemony and all who serve it, you destroyed one human village. You killed 847 innocent people, including children, farmers, and teachers. You thought this would teach us to submit. Instead, you have taught us who our enemies are. Haven's Rest is gone, but Kepler 442b remembers. Earth remembers. And we want you to understand something fundamental about human nature. We are not a species that forgives the murder of children. The broadcast continued with technical specifications for the bioweapon, detailed instructions for its manufacture, and the locations of 17 hegemony supply depots where the bacteria could be most effectively deployed. Within hours, the information had spread to every human world in the galaxy. The Zephyrian hegemony, which had ruled through fear for 3 centuries, discovered that some prey animals are far more dangerous when cornered than their predators ever anticipated. They had tried to erase one human village. They had awakened a species that viewed genocide as a personal insult requiring immediate and comprehensive response. The war that followed would be remembered as the shortest and most decisive conflict in galactic history. It lasted exactly 96 days, ending when the last Zephyrian stronghold fell to a coordinated assault by human forces, who had somehow forgotten the meaning of the word mercy. In the aftermath, as human ships patrolled space lanes that had been Zephyrian for centuries, the galaxy learned a new rule. You could conquer human worlds, you could tax human colonies, you could even enslave human populations, but you never, ever touched human children. That lesson, written in the ashes of the Zephyrian hegemony, would echo through the stars for generations to come.